What is going on, guys? Houndish here, and welcome back to another Destiny video. And today I'm going to be talking about the Red Specter auto rifle, and this thing drops in the Crucible and it's supposed to be a Red Death prototype weapon. So like the IS Luna, this thing has a lot of cool factor to me, and not to mention that Red Death was probably my favorite year 1 primary. But either way, let's talk about the Red Specter. So firstly, it's worth mentioning the bugged impact stats on this weapon, and the weapon displays an impact of 24, but in reality it performs with around the same impact as a Hakon's hatchet or a Monte Carlo style AR. And I don't know whether this was intended to have, such high impact initially, or whether it was entirely a mistake on Bungie's part. But outside of its impact stats, it has a base stability of 28 and a range of 22, which are two stats that certainly influence the bonuses that you're going to want on this weapon. They are quite low stats, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. So firstly, it deals 20 critical damage and 16 damage to the body at optimum range in PvP. So because of those lower range stats, you're going to want to be in medium to close range. But this is the case for most ARs, and Red Specter's range stat, when not buffed, doesn't actually leave it feeling much worse than any other AR in the game. I really like how Red Specter handles in PvP though. Mine has pretty strong recoil, which I'd like to tone the shakiness of the weapon back a little bit. But as someone who isn't the biggest user of ARs, I've noticed that this kind of recoil pattern actually can sometimes help me control the weapon to some degree. I've used weapons with much better stability that have felt kind of less sticky to targets, if that makes sense. Kind of the way you track targets and things like that. So I like how Red Specter feels a lot, and if you can hit those first couple of crits on a target, then they get that kind of high flinch value, which makes aiming a weapon really difficult, and it can be surprising how fast some targets actually go down with the Red Specter. So the weapon is certainly competitive in PvP, but as always, some perk rolls will be ideal for the weapon, and obviously you want to look at those range and stability stats as much as possible. So initially, to address the stability, hand-laid stock, injection mold, or even small bore, because that helps with range as well, will be fairly solid bonuses. But counterbalance is where it's at, and that'd be a very good bonus to help control the recoil on the weapon overall. And then you could opt for hand-loaded, possibly to increase the range a little bit, but this would depend on the other stability bonuses that you have. On mine, I can't really afford to use hand-loaded, as that would leave the weapon, very hard to control in terms of stability and recoil. And then life support is a great bonus and would be cool as well, because it leaves the weapon with that kind of more Red Death prototype feel. And then you can get hidden hand, which could be pretty good on this, because, tracking targets and that stickiness kind of feel, to tracking targets. And then glass half full, Eye of the Storm, crowd control, third eye can also roll on this weapon, which is pretty cool, and any of them would be great options depending on your preferences for PvP. So overall, this weapon is just fantastic. I really like how it feels to use, and with very good stability options, you could get, the best out of this weapon. It's actually my favorite weapon to use in this archetype of auto rifles, so that's pretty cool. And personally, I am still hoping for a better drop of my Spectre, but it performs, with less than ideal bonuses, really well, which does demonstrate the weapon's potential if you got god rolls on this auto rifle. So there you go, guys. That is me talking about the Red Specter. It's an auto rifle that I actually really enjoy to use in PvP and PvE, actually. So let me know down below if you guys have any Red Specters or any awesome rolls of the Red Specter you use in PvP, because it can be pretty damn boss. And I hope you have enjoyed the video in general. So if you have, drop me a like and that comment down below. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see a hell of a lot more Destiny content, then feel free to hit that subscribe button for a lot more. But for now, you guys take it easy, and I will catch you very soon.